Thanks for tuning in to Men for the Win, a podcast hosted by David Kufis and Dan Thompson, with special guest appearances from Andrew Hoganson, three avid fans who appreciate well-played baseball, especially when it's done by the Minnesota Twins. Men for the Win is sponsored by the Grand Group with Edina Realty. Are you looking to purchase a new home in the Twin Cities area? Or perhaps you're trying to sell your current home? The Grand Group with Edina Realty will meet all of your housing needs. Contact the Grand Group by emailing thegran, G-R-A-N, group at edinarealty.com or call them by phone at 612-817-8751. Men for the Win is part of the Pulltab Sports Network, covering sports, culture, and entertainment across the Midwest. Check them out at pulltabsports.com and give them a follow on all your social media platforms at Pulltab Sports. On this episode, David and Hogs recap the Twins' three-game series against the Boston Red Sox. Thanks for listening. Enjoy. Thanks for tuning in to Men for the Win. My name is David Kufis. With me, special guest, third chair, Andrew Hoganson, in studio nonetheless. Hogs, what do you know about that? But your Minnesota Twins, Hogs, the team that you were so concerned about in the season preview, the team you were so concerned was going to be the worst team that baseball had ever seen, currently holds the best record in the American League. What do you have to say for yourself,
This
folks?
is fun. Are we not having fun? I think it's so funny that I haven't been on, and I mean, it's about, 3 weeks since we did our season recap. If I would have been on any of the episodes in the first week and a half, my tone would have been about the exact same as it was in that season, like projections or whatever. But this is awesome. Like, I'm having fun. I mean, we're 18 games into the season, and we're 4 games, right? 4 games, 3 games, whatever. We're a few games above 500. I'll take it, right? I mean, I've had more fun. I can say this honestly. I've had more fun this season already than I thought I would have the entire season. So
I think it's a legitimate view to hold,
yeah.
Hogs. I will say, let me ask you this, though. Are you a bit offended, as am I, that in the Athletics power rankings, they're still 18th?
No,
they have
David,
the best record in the
it's
AL, and they're still putting the power rankings at the 18th? What are we doing
Look at
here?
the rest of the standings, David. The Astros are in last. The Pirates are in first. The only one that makes sense is the Dodgers in first. Everything else is flipped. You know as well as I do, it's early. But as a wise man texted me last night, I'm just going to enjoy it, and I'm not going to ask any questions. It's fun. Like, I turn on
joy in your life? Is there no song
It's
in
the
your
most
heart?
that sounder's been played already this season.
We've been too joyful, Hogs. Let's go ahead and jump into this series recap.
Series recap.
Well, Hogs, this one starts out about as fun as any game can. The Twins win this one 13-6. The Twins' offense has been surprising all season so far, but this was definitely a surprise. So they beat Skubal, they beat Valdez, then they beat Scherzer, and now they beat Crochet in the most ridiculous fashion. The worst start of Garrett Crochet's career. A guy who's supposed to be...
Technically, it was his second shortest start. He did throw 4 pitches one time and then got pulled during a rain delay. So it wasn't his shortest.
Okay.
I do realize you said worst, but I just wanted to drop that little drop of knowledge because I thought it was cool. Carry on.
Oh, so now you think you're better than me.
Okay, so the Twins, though, they put up 4 runs in the first inning. They get doubles from Martin and Keyshaw, a single from Jeffers, a walk and a hit by pitch for Caratini and Wallner, and then Brooks Lee with an RBI single. So that puts the Twins up 4-0. And at this point, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, 4 runs were more runs than I thought they were going to score against Crochet.
A lefty,
but
too.
They weren't.
They're beating lefties.
Over and over and over and over again, Hogs. It makes no sense to me whatsoever how that's possible. But then the second inning, Hogs, brings absolute madness. So Buxton singles, Martin and Keyshaw both walk, Jeffers singles, Bell doubles, and then Caratini hits a ridiculous home run, 423 feet, off the facing of the third deck in left field. The ball was still traveling, Hogs, by the time he got to home base, I think. And you're thinking, who's going to hit a ball further than that? A guy whose name I still haven't figured out how to pronounce, Hogs. That's who's going to beat that home run. Ryan Kreidler?
I think it's
who's
Kreidler.
Not expected to reach
but
base.
I say Kreidler, too. I go back
Oh,
and
man,
forth.
I even tried to get it right that time.
I think it's Kreidler, but I could be totally wrong.
Not going to work here very long. So not expected, though, to even reach base. He hits a 438-foot home run, thank you, to put the Twins up 11-0. And Hogs, I don't know what to say. What were you even thinking at that point?
Well, it was funny because I haven't been able to watch a whole lot of baseball because I was in Mexico with the family and I just got back and I knew I was recording, so I always try to watch as much as I can when I'm recording. So I popped this game on thinking, hey, they're playing Crochet. They're probably not going to do that well. And then the first inning, it was a great inning, right? They score 4 runs. They kind of dinking and dunking. Second inning a little bit too. But then all of a sudden they just start hitting bombs. I mean, it was an awesome game. And then all of a sudden it was just like, yeah, you know what? Screw singles and doubles. Let's just hit just shots to left field. Caratini pimping that home run was awesome too, because he looked a little bit shocked right away that he hit it like that. So it was like the least arrogant pimp of a home run I think I've ever seen, because he looked shocked and then he was like, well, I have to do something. Did you see where that ball went?
As if you did something right.
Oh, wait. I wanted it to go to my head.
So Buxton and Jeffers hit homers in the 5th, and so that rounds out the Twins' 13 runs. The Red Sox score 6 along the way, but honestly, this game was over in the second. No matter how bad the Twins' bullpen is, spotting a 13-run lead, I'm pretty sure they're going to pull this one out.
When did you feel good? Like what was the point where you're like, our bullpen's not blowing this one? I think it was 10 for me when I finally was.
You know, the 11th run honestly was more important to me than I thought it was going to be.
You needed that last insurance run.
That last one. But okay, this is so funny. So I'm putting the game notes in here. I don't even talk about the pitching because it didn't matter, right? So Ober goes 6, gives up 4 earned runs. Of course, he's going to be praised as like, what a great pitcher. He gets the win here, when it's like, okay, dude, you just had to not give up 1,000 runs and you're going to get the victory here. But then it was Orzi and Acton finish it out. But again, who really cares at this point? Nobody's actually trying anymore at that point, even if they did manage to put up 6 runs. But why don't you go ahead and walk us through game 2, Hogs?
Well, game 2 was a little bit different. Instead of just piling it all on right at the beginning, they sort of spread it all out in this game, which, I mean, in your notes here, you have, that's not the MO of the team, right? Like, it's a lot of like just big crooked numbers and chunks. But in the bottom of the 1st, Buxton leads off with a single, scores from first on a Luke Keeschel single. This play was awesome, David, because he right away when he slid in, he got called out, they challenged it, but right away he's like, challenge that. And you see the first time you see the replay, you're like, oh, he's absolutely safe. And I don't know if you caught this on his post-game interview or whatever, but he's like, there's not a lot of stuff that makes me mad. Getting thrown out on the base paths would make me mad. He's like, I knew I was safe. I will never tire of saying that the game of baseball is more fun to watch when Byron Buxton is running the bases like that. Like like he was dead to rights. And honestly, the pitcher should have had him. He just double clutched like 4 times, but that was pretty great. It was exactly that. But yeah, then in the bottom of the 3rd, Buxton hits a solo home run, just continuing his this game was his like French phrase for like how Buxton played in this game. Twins go up 2-0. Then they load the bases, but Sonny Gray escapes the inning, getting Clemens to ground out. Here you're starting to wonder, like, okay, do the Red Sox start sneaking back in a little bit? But in the 4th, Twins get back to work again, starting with a Brooks Lee home run, who apparently this guy just dominates the Red Sox, and all we had to do was trash him for a little bit, and then we start putting up some numbers. My back! It's just crazy. Then 3 straight singles from Gray, Buxton, and a 2 RBI single by Larnach. Twins are now up 5-0. And at this point, I'm thinking, I mean, what is this team? Like, we were talking about the offense, and there they go. I mean, I think they scored 40 runs in 4 games or something ridiculous like that in this little stretch. Just absolutely bonkers. Bottom of the 6th, Buxton hits another home run. Twins go up 6-0. Mick Abel has just a unbelievable game. He is on my fantasy team, I would like to point out, which wasn't great at the beginning of the year, but
hang on.
Nobody cares.
They do. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 10 Ks, 0 walks. Rogers and Sands get through the rest of it. Awesome game from the pitching staff. Seeing Abel go out and look like that was awesome. Did you happen, David, to catch his interview right after he got done pitching?
Okay, so I mean to go back. I saw a couple of tweets that it was not great, from what I understand. Can you tell me about it?
You're a Wild fan, right?
Yeah.
And hockey players, let's just say, are rather bland, putting it nicely, right? This would have been the worst or best, depending on how you want to view it, hockey interview you've ever seen. It was just, I feel like I went out there and I threw pretty good. There were some strikes, got a lot of guys out. It feels good to get through 7 innings. I'm happy that Shelton left me out there to keep going. You would have thought his mom died earlier that day, and yet he had the best pitching performance of his young life so far. Also, I didn't realize he looks like he's 12. Like, maybe I just feel old, but my goodness. And then when he talks like this,
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Oh, but yeah, you got to look it up, David. It's quite funny.
Yeah, I will circle back to that interview, no question. Let's go on to game 3 here. This is where the good times start to falter a little bit here. Twins lose this one 9-5. Austin Martin starts this game, though, off we're thinking, oh my goodness,
here
it's
we
just a
go again.
continuation here. Let it keep coming here. He hits a long home run. It's 1-0 Twins after one. And then SWR, who, okay, I understand his last start was impacted by Subway. I'm curious what sub chain he's going to blame for this start. Like, is it Jimmy John's? Is it Jersey Mike's? Like, who is it that he's going to blame?
I mean, they're
for his
all
poor
better than
performance?
Subway. Like, let's just be honest right now.
No question. But anyway, he gets through the first couple of innings, but not cleanly by any stretch. And then finally, the Red Sox caught up to him in the third. They score 5 runs. They had 2 more in the 5th and 2 more in the 6th. So it's 9-1 Red Sox. This one's clearly over. You finally have Derek Shelton making moves of any kind by taking all the good players out and putting the bench guys in. Keishel with a rough game here. 2 errors on the day and an 0-3 at the plate. The Twins offense, they do turn it on in the 9th. Again, led by Ryan, however you say his last name. He hits a 3-run home run, but it's too little too late. The Twins drop this one 9-5. And
No.
no.
I saw you put that in the notes, and I was like, that's cheap. Fine. You know what? Go ahead.
No, Hogs, you told me that you're super excited about Drip Drop. You got your package in the mail. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about our new sponsor, Drip Drop?
Dan, I win ad transition here. Just, I would like to say that. But, well, yeah, I just got mine in the mail today. I'm excited to try it. Product superiority is the key here. There's no faster way to hydrate than Drip Drop. They have the science to prove it. 3 times electrolytes and half the sugar of the leading sports drink, and magnesium, zinc, and vitamin C for added immune support. Drip Drop is used by the Vikings, Timberwolves, Wild, and Twins. The Army Rangers, Navy SEALs, and Special Forces train with it. This is the stuff that's used in the locker room when the cameras aren't rolling. Drip Drop is what they choose when they need it to work. Summer is the ultimate time when you need proper hydration. If you're outside in the sun, have a job where you sweat, or working out, it's critical to take your hydration seriously. Take it to the cabin with you, etc. If it's hot and sweaty, don't forget the Drip Drop. Nothing hydrates faster. Hangovers shouldn't be the focus, but if you personally find yourself using Drip Drop the next morning after a night out, that's relevant. It is a game changer, and I'm excited to try it. I've done a few Ironman and half Ironmans in my life. Pumped to give this product a try.
Catch 'em all, Kirby Puckett!
Puckett's Picks winner.
Finally, Hogs, my drought comes to an end. I get Buxton. He gets me not only the win, but the bonus as well with 15 points. Outscores the rest of y'all combined without a problem. Listeners took Bell, who had 4. Dan took Keishal, who had 4. You took Tristan Gray. Tell us a little bit about that logic,
Well,
Hogs.
so with Royce Lewis going down, I'm like, Gray is going to get a lot of starts at third base now, right? There's no way they're going to have Kreidler up there doing anything. And then Kreidler gets the start in game 1 and hits a 438-foot home run. I mean, what in the actual heck is going on? I was so ticked off when he hit that home run. I was ticked off that he was in the lineup anyways. But then that happens. I picked him up on my fantasy baseball team too, and then I had to see that happen. Just stupid. My wife wanted me to pick Jeffers, which ultimately wouldn't have mattered. You still would have beat me anyways. But after game 1, I was kicking myself pretty good because Jeffers had a phenomenal game 1.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Hogs?
No. No, you didn't do that. Boo.
I did that just for you, Hogs. Just for you. Let's go ahead. Let's keep pushing. Oh, no, I got to give the standings. Sorry, I was so excited to use the new sounder that I forgot. No, here we are. Dan's in the lead at 3.5. Me and the listeners are tied at 1.5, and Hogs has 1. So we're still really tight. It's really early in the season.
This is the way to go, right? Like last year I had a 15-point lead and I ended up blowing it. I'm playing the slow game, the long game this year.
I told you all that I was the greatest of all time.
Hogs hubris.
Let's keep moving here. Beast versus Bench.
I don't like these new sounders.
Versus Bench.
Losing fun is losing fun.
It was a long off season, folks. I needed to do something to fill the time.
I mean, how did you get both of them so fast? I guess that's my own fault. But.
I knew they'd find a way into the episode, Hogs. I knew that you would give me an opening. But so who do you have as your beast here, Hogs?
I went with Buxton. Game 2 was Buxton's game. I think he went 4 for 4. I mean, just unbelievable. You can tell he's breaking out of his shell. Even that play at the plate was awesome. He actually hit his 85th home run on that solo shot, made him the all-time target field leader, past Max Kepler. It was a really cool moment, you could tell. And even that home run that he golfed out too, you're hitting well when you hit a golf shot and you look into the dugout and you laugh. And then he did the buck truck, but his first thing was like, what? So yeah, it's cool to see him heating up. I mean, it's not even, he had a sort of a rough start, but you can't really get that. I mean, it's 3 series. And now if he's playing like this, there's some spice in this dugout. Like there's some juice, and it starts with him.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about how this group gels because it's very interesting to me. I'm going to go with Mick Abel as the Beast. Game 2, phenomenal. He did great against the Tigers as well. Obviously, a guy who prefers to pitch in good weather seems to be the way that he operates currently. I do think that, like, I was getting nervous that I'm like, okay, maybe the spring training stuff was just pretend and like he's not the guy. But my goodness, Hogs, throwing this way against the Red Sox and the way that he threw against Detroit, he could be a guy, Hogs.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that Taj Bradley's doing everything that he's doing, and we got so much like airtime for him. And then to see Abel come out with his last 2 starts and just kind of be like, well, don't forget about me either. It's so early, right? But again, let's just have fun and enjoy the moment. It was awesome to see. Yes. I hope it continues.
I mean, remember when we were rejoicing with the 15-game win streak last season? How quickly that came to an end?
I don't know. Oh, it was a different ball thread. It wasn't like you and Dan, but someone texted me yesterday. He's like, how much does this season feel like last year when we had that 13-game win streak? And I'm like, quiet.
Too much.
Shut up.
It feels okay. The only thing about this that feels a little bit different is that I'd much rather see them win like 12 series in a row than win 15 games in a row if it leads to more long-term success. Obviously, that's the parameter for any thing that you're thinking about.
But like the teams that I know you were joking. I mean, maybe not, but like maybe the Tigers are just bad. But that's a good team. The Red Sox were supposed to be better this year. They've been pretty terrible to start the year, but I mean, they're not beating the Rockies and the White Sox. Again, early, but prefer this to the alternative.
Be honest, Hogs. How much do you regret making fun of me about the May 10th comment?
You know it. I do it for the podcast, David. I do it for the podcast. I do it for the engagement. That's my goal.
Okay, well, for my bench, I'm going to give it to Wallner. I mean, he's an easy pick. 0 for 9 with 2 strikeouts. I don't know, Hogs. I wanted to. I have like 8 questions in Mauer's musings because just you and I haven't talked much about this, but we'll get to that. Who did you put on your bench?
Did you hear when Wallner got hit in the ribs when they replayed it with the sound? You could hear squelching. No. It was like, I'm like, oh.
I couldn't breathe for a second. When it hit him, like I was like, yeah, like I was like,
I thought it hit him in the elbow right away, and then it was just right in the ribs.
Well, his reaction, like I was like, it hits you in the elbow pad, dude. Like, yeah, I don't want to get hit by balls either, but you get hit all the time.
Yeah, right. He's
really
the guy who get hit in the head, and he would just like shrug it off and go, so that one hurt. Yeah, that sounder was overdue. I went with Tristan Gray. How do you go with anyone else? And you know why I picked him? I even put this in the notes. Tristan Gray is on my bench because he was on the bench for most of this series, which makes no sense. In my fantasy baseball team, I can't even drop guys. If they're active on the active roster and they're not don't have IL, I have to keep him on my team. So he is stuck there right now. Okay, he is stuck.
Please just go away.
There it goes. And that was Garden's Gripe.
Let's go here, Derek's deep.
You ever seen Buck with his pants down?
Yeah.
No.
Derek's debrief.
I can't hear that and not laugh. I still am not entirely sure why you guys sold it for this sounder, other than it's just funny. But I don't even hear what you're saying the first 2 minutes because I'm giggling about.
Wait, you don't understand why debrief?
Debrief! Oh my word! Oh, that's so good. That's amazing. Whoa. Well done.
Hang on. Just for the record, you thought we just decided.
I had no clue. I thought you did it just because I requested it right away. That was like right when it happened. I was like, this has to be a sounder. So I just thought it was like some love towards me. But, that's incredible. Well done, boys. Well done.
Dan and I talked about whether it was appropriate for like 4 different phone calls. We were like, can we do this? Are people going to be
Nope, people aren't even going to get it. Well, I'll put myself in the dumb category on that one. That's phenomenal. Well done.
Oh, man. Okay, well, what do you have for Derek here, Hogs?
Well, now I'm never going to not laugh at that segment. If you know what? If I'm on the podcast, I'm not putting anything here. I'm just going to giggle in the background the whole time because I'm still going to be laughing at that. But my question for Derek Shelton and you, is it noticeably different how long he is leaving in the starters, and why do you think that is, if it is?
Yeah, I think we talked about it so much last episode that the way that Rocco managed was, again, I said the line and I'll say it again, it's like as soon as the starter got to the third time through the order or 75 pitches, we all start getting twitchy.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, Rocco's clearly going to
sure.
make a move. He's going to pick up that phone. And so Shelton, I'm going to go right into mine because it sort of goes hand in hand with what you're saying here. Is it possible he's just lazy? Like, is that a real
he just
possibility?
doesn't want to walk out there.
He doesn't want to take the starters out. And if you realize, folks, one of the things that I noticed, so I'm going through and I'm doing the Puckett's pick scoring, right? And I do that for each of the series, or Dan does, or who's ever in charge of it or whatever. And you always have to like read through and see, okay, well, did this guy come into the game later? Like, what happened? He doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, he's like pinch hitting. What's pinch hitting? Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not a thing that we actually do here. And then like, so now I'm just thinking, his goal is to make as few moves as possible, I think. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's very refreshing after dealing with what Rocco was, where it's like, okay, it's the third inning. Let's take our best lefty out and put a righty in because they put a lefty reliever on the mound because we shelled the guy out of the first 2 innings. Whatever the case may be, it's so different. I think we've gotten so accustomed to the constant changing and switching that it's just fun to go in and see a guy in the first inning and know you're probably going to see him in the 6th inning also.
Yeah, and heavy caveat here, right? We're not that far into the season, and the starters have been okay, so he can leave them in there. But that is what is happening right now. He is leaving them out longer. I think part of it, I think he is a little bit maybe overcorrecting from what Rocco did, actually giving guys a chance. Like, we've been screaming forever. Like, sometimes if you go to like the right matchup, it doesn't actually help if the guy who you're taking out is just simply a better hitter, even if his splits aren't better than the other guys. Like, let him have a shot. But I think part of it, too, is this bullpen sucks, so let's keep those starters in as long as we can. I think we kind of screamed at Rocco to do that at the end of the year last year, and he didn't really do it. So with Shelton doing it now, I think that does play a role. Again, early season, early returns, caveats, but that is what we're seeing right now.
All right, well, let's push forward here into Minnesota Moment, Hogs.
Minnesota Moment.
I feel like you already buried the lead for your own here, Hogs.
I know.
Go first.
It has to be Buxton's homer right there. That was such an incredible moment to get to 85 right there. Did you know that he was that close to Kepler to passing it? And did you know that those were the top 2 guys? I guess it makes sense to me. I thought maybe Crew. I don't know. It's so weird because the Twins home run hitters, they haven't had longevity here like Kepler has.
Well, so Jason Kubel and Jim Thome were my first thoughts, but then it was like they didn't stay long enough at target field to hit those sort of numbers.
Yeah, 85 seems low, but it was just cool for him to get that moment. I love that he's in the Twins history books right now. The man's had a tough career to get here. Like, there's been a lot of injuries, but you can't help but respect him and for what he's done for this city and this team. So yeah, that was an easy one for me.
No question. I'm going to go with the game 1 ambush here of a guy slated to be in the running for the Cy Young. Now, some people made the argument, and I think it's valid, that there's a good chance he was tipping his pitches to some extent, to somehow. And the Twins are familiar with him from when he was with the White Sox. So it's not like, so it's a guy they're familiar with, and it's a guy who, there's no way that the Twins didn't have something. They were hitting absolutely everything. Do you know he got no strikeouts?
But that's
a guy who's a strikeout pitcher.
That's good coaching and scouting, though. Like, I know you're not saying this at all, but that is in no way cheating. That is Duke playing good baseball out there. I know you're not saying that, but like, I think you're probably right. I think it's like when Ober would play Kansas City, like he's going to give up 15 runs or whatever.
They were like, Ober basically shouted whatever he was going to pitch at him before he threw the ball.
That's a good moment. I know, like, culmination of this series. We went out there and we lit up guys who are good and just in bunches. Yes. It was fun to watch.
Oh, man. Okay, let's go here. Mauer's Musings. I got like 4 questions for you, Hogs.
I just don't know how it can get any better.
Mauer's Musings.
This start of this year has been phenomenal, right? We can all agree on that. What part of the team do you feel is the most Cinderella-y right now? That the shoe's going to fall off? Like, what are you worried about the most of breaking down? Or should we not even be talking about that and just enjoying it?
To pretend that every Twins fan isn't constantly thinking about this is foolhardy, Hogs. Of course, everybody is thinking, when are the wheels going to fall off and which wheel is going to be? And so, okay, order of likelihood, I guess I'd say. It's sort of a twofer here, because the reason we haven't cared about the bullpen's performance is because the offense keeps putting up so many runs. And so the thing is, the bullpen could be really bad right now. Like, I think they're like middle of the road a little bit. They're in the bottom third, I think, for sure. Whatever. But the thing is, we don't care because the Twins keep putting up runs. So I think the first thing that's going to go wrong is the offense is only going to put up 4 runs, and the bullpen isn't going to be able to give up runs at will and still win baseball games. That being said, I also think this offense, There's just no way. There is just no way, because the guys who we expected to have to like really participate and take steps forward are not where the offense is coming from right now. And that's the most baffling part about this. So
but maybe
how much of this is sustainable?
Maybe the most encouraging part, or is it not?
See, well, no, but that goes against the question you just asked.
No, I know, but like I think
part is the most Cinderella.
No, but you know what I mean though. Like the guys that are performing really well are not the guys that we said had to have career years. The guys that aren't doing well, or maybe not living up to what we wanted to, are the guys that we thought had to, which is
yes.
It's confusing, but
it is,
because like I mean, Buxton came alive in this series, but Keyshaw still hasn't been what we hoped for. Wallner for sure hasn't. Lewis is on the IL. I mean, those are, and Larnach has been pretty decent, but like guys like Caratini, Jeffers has been lights out right now. Kreidler doing what he's doing out there. I mean, what is going on with that? It's Josh Bell. I mean, they're guys that we weren't on that list of people having to perform really, really well. I think for me, the part that the bullpen hasn't been good. I think that was a good point that you made. I don't even know. They're not Cinderella right now. They're still not good. We're just scoring a bunch of runs. Like we're not worried about it.
They're a stepsister whose part of the story ended before it really mattered.
Yeah, like they are what they are who we thought they were, but it doesn't matter. I'm worried about the
they are who we thought they were.
Exactly. I'm worried about Taj Bradley and Mick Abel, to be specific. Like, those were huge starts. And again, if the offense keeps putting up runs, who cares? But I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a comeback to earth for sure for Bradley. But maybe not. Maybe not. All right, David, hit me with them.
Okay. So the first one is something you just sort of referenced. So my first question is, who's the first starter to be dropped and give somebody from AAA a start?
You're not going to want this answer. I think it's over.
You're going to say Bailey over.
It's over.
Oh,
He's throwing 88 miles per hour.
Where did all these unsupervised children come from?
He's got so many children to feed, Hogs. Leave the man alone.
I can't stop giggling about how you wanted to give 7-year, $100 million to Simeon Woods Richardson, and then he goes out and gives up 9 runs in his next start right after.
That was a rough
I'm still not critiquing you on that, but it was just really funny timing. But yeah, I think it's over right now. That velocity just isn't there. And like you said, he didn't pitch phenomenally in game 1 because we scored 13 runs.
They ask you how you are, you don't just have to say that you're fine, and you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
You'd never understand the way I feel about Bailey Ober, Hogs. So I think it's SWR, because I think that if Bailey Ober can go out there and give you 6 innings and only give up 4 runs, you'll take that every single time.
You will, but it's better than 9.
Stop it. Get to him.
So that was an easy softball to start. Okay, the second one is a little bit more subjective and a little bit more philosophical, because we've mentioned it in the recap here. This team tends to score in bunches. And I realize it's a little bit of a dumb thing to say, right? Because obviously you need guys on base to score a lot of runs. However, to pretend as though you can watch any of these big run games that the Twins have had and not realize there is definitely an energy when somebody gets on base or somebody takes a walk or somebody steals a bag, that the energy level in this dugout seems to increase so much more than Twins teams of the past. They get so excited and they feed off each other. So my question is, I don't even know how to ask this here. What happens when the big innings stop, Hogs? Like, can this team score enough runs, not in these high energy bunches, to be successful?
When you're not batting around twice in the first 2 innings.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I do
like,
think
it's just,
funny,
they clearly feed off each other.
Because you are like the biggest opponent of momentum. Yeah, momentum doesn't matter. Good vibes doesn't matter.
From game to game. You're like, well, they won 2 games. Yeah, they lost 3, but they still have that momentum from winning that series against the White Sox 2 series ago.
You know what I was thinking of? Like, just even watching these games is, remember how we would talk about Kepler, how he looked like he was having just the most fun he's ever had playing baseball, but he was also on like he was hitting like 500 over that streak. Well, of course he's having fun. Yes. So it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg kind of a thing with this?
Yeah.
I agree, David. They're going to hit some rough spots, and they need to be able to have that camaraderie. But Derek Shelton even made a comment, and it was a hilarious comment, because they were like, why do you think this team has had such early success? And he goes, honestly, I think they really like each other. And that stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it does matter. It was such a funny, like, he like qualified it, and then he's like, nah, screw it. I'm not going to qualify that anymore. But he had a couple quotes about their first 3 games on the road when they had team dinners. Buxton rented out a room. Like 19 of the guys all showed up. So
yeah.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, hopefully that is something that, because maybe this team hasn't had that before, where they have like those, I mean, everyone's younger now. They're in even like a little bit more of even some has-been guys out there. If you get that locker room culture, that will help you in a baseball season. It's real. If you play championship culture
every time I have to go find, I can't.
Why do you get rid of the sounder then? Like, I feel like you would
put it
learn
all the way
by
at the
now.
bottom. I don't use these ones.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
I want to build a championship culture.
Who am I with, Carlos?
Why are you so obsessed with me?
I gotta watch that movie again.
Yeah, no, you have to watch La La Land, and then, folks, you can go watch the review that Dan and I did on Patreon.
Terrible. La La Land is such a bad movie.
Well, Hoges, maybe you'll change your perspective. Watch the review that Dan and I did on our Patreon. Only $1 a month, folks, gets you access to our second show, Picture of Record. We do a movie review a month, not of new stuff, because we're old men, so we review old movies.
I know you're trying to sell the Patreon here, but I'm going to remember forever you trying to convince people to watch La La Land. I'm going to remember that. That moment is there. Okay. I'm telling Dan. This is recorded.
I'm sort of telling them to watch La La Land.
No, you are
definitely.
Really you are saying watch La La Land. It's phenomenal. That's what I heard.
Okay. No. First of all, go watch our review, and then you'll see what I truly think about this. Okay, last question here, Hoges. There was this whole confrontation between someone at the Twin Stadium and Tom Pohlad, and they had to sell. I'm not exact. It's a lot of he said, she said. The only video portion you see gives you nothing that leads up to it or the aftermath. It doesn't look bad. It seems like probably one of those situations where everybody's maybe had a couple, and they're not really like thinking super clearly, and they're like, "You're a terrible owner because you won't spend money on the team," and it's like he's like, "Well, you're being classless," and she's like, "How dare you call me classless in front of my kid?" And it's like, well, if you're being classless, regardless of your kid's presence or not, doesn't really matter. It's like that Karen lady from the Phillies who went and stole the ball from the kid. But okay, anyway, all of that aside,
that's a good aside.
Here's my question, Hoges. All off season, you got Tom Pohlad saying, "Well, we're going to be competitive."
No,
stop. Let me get through it. Stop, Hoges. Okay. So all offseason when he takes the helm, he's like, well, we expect to be competitive. And we've been very upset because he made no effort to make this team any more competitive than it was at the beginning of the offseason than it was at the end of the season last season. And so what will it take, Hoges, for you to admit that Tom Pohlad was right about this team being competitive?
Doesn't that make your blood boil just asking that question?
Yes. I can't. I'm asking this question because I want to answer it. Because all I want to say is, even if the Twins win the World Series, I will not say that Tom Pohlad had any sanity in his brain talking about this team being competitive. Yeah. If they win the World, if they win 110 games on the season, they sweep in the postseason, they win the World Series, they beat the Dodgers 4-0 in the World Series, I will still never say that Tom Pohlad had any sense or any right to believe that this team was actually gonna be competitive in this season of baseball.
Please toss yourself right now.
Fans want an ejection. There he goes. And that was Gardy's gripe.
Amen. I mean that
Okay, let's
co-sign.
Let's go grade the series here.
Series grades.
So I always go first because Dan's are these long tangents, and then you kind of come in and you're like, "Here's my one little thing to say." So I'm gonna give.
I take a nap actually when I'm on with Dan.
Just like I know I go make a tea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good intermission.
I'd make a coffee, but that goes too fast. I need to let the tea steep while Dan goes through his 38 segments about how numbers are scored. But so I'm going to give him an A- here. Both sides of the ball faltered in Game 3, but honestly, you took 2 of 3 from the Red Sox. You've kept your momentum going that Hoges is so obsessed with, and I just think that this was such a good continuation from the way that they performed in series previous. And I think that if you keep winning series, especially up to that special May 10th date, which now, Hoges, they only have to win 8 out of the next 21 games in order to make my prediction come true that this team will compete for a wild card if they're 500 on May 10th, Hoges.
That stat courtesy of Brother Dan.
Brother Dan. Love Brother Dan.
I went with a B+, and frankly, I'm shocked you went with an A-. I thought you were going to go C+. I thought you were going to kind of get after them after today with some recency bias. I agree with you. I originally had a B. I bumped it up to a B+ because we took 2 out of 3 and we dominated the first 2 games against what is supposed to be a good team that was on its way to turning things around. We made them look real bad over these 3 games, but hey, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? All right, let's go on here. Herbie's headlines, Hoges.
I don't know, Jack. It looked like Herbeck pulled him off the bag.
Herbie's headlines.
Okay, so we have to talk about this Yankees-Angels game. So it's a day where you had 6 players hit multiple home runs on the same day, and 3 of those players were in this game. So Trout, Grisham, and Judge. Oh, no, excuse me. It was 8 players. It's 6 players besides these 3 guys. No, 9 players? I'm not a math guy.
There was a lot of guys.
There's a lot of guys out there hitting multiple home runs. But in the Yankees-Angels game specifically, Trout, Grisham, and Judge each hit 2 home runs. The Yanks win this in the bottom of the 9th in, I guess, is it climactic or anticlimactic? I'm not really sure.
With the wild pitch,
so?
Yeah, it's anticlimactic. When you have those 3 guys hitting bombs the whole game, especially Judge and Trout going at it, it's a funny way to end a game on a wild pitch.
Yes, yes, totally reasonable here. Okay, so let's keep moving here. Really, go watch the highlights though, folks. It's like a 9-minute watch, and it's super fun to watch. And see Trout in young Trout form is just always a fun thing.
Absolutely.
But so this is the other thing. This is kind of making the rounds here, Hogs, on X. But MLB insiders believe that the ABS challenge system is here to stay, and they're unlikely to move to full ABS because the fan reception has been so great for the ABS. What do you think about that?
It's still too early for me to totally I'm withholding judgment for right now. I didn't like the idea right away, but I was trying to temper that with I didn't like the pitch clock, and then I ended up loving it.
Yeah,
it's seems to be working really, really, really well. We must mention the Red Sox. I can't remember who it was. It was their bench player who came in and challenged that ball that was right down the center of the plate. That was so funny. But you were yelling like you aren't used to yelling tap that during the middle of a game when you're watching it. I just do this, and for those of you not watching on the video, I'm tapping my head right now. I'll just be watching and I'll see something. I'll be like, come on, do it, as I'm tapping my head. It's so funny. But okay, this is just between you and me right now. This is nothing to the listeners. I like it so far. I kind of do. I kind of like it.
Hogs, the fact that you like this is a miracle, and you could say that CBD is a miracle drug, and you wouldn't be wrong. The list of benefits using CBD is long. Use it to knock out pain, use it to reduce inflammation, use it to sleep better. And when you choose Cascade CBX Sport, you get these benefits, plus the peace of mind that their products are NSF certified for sport. CBD can help everyone from your aging grandmother managing her arthritis to a weekend warrior like Hogs, easing aches and pains, all the way to a college or pro athlete who doesn't want to risk their sponsorship or scholarship and needs sport CBD products free of over 300 banned substances. Visit CascadeCBXSport.com and trust the Shield to stay on the field.
And we'll see you tomorrow night. Puckett's Picks.
Well, the listeners, Hogs, are going to take Buxton, and I don't think any of us are going to get to take Buxton for a long, long time at this rate. And so then it goes to you, Hogs.
I'm torn right now because I have 2 guys that are currently on my fantasy baseball team that have actually been producing with Austin Martin.
Okay,
and
this
Ryan
sounder
Jeffers.
is going to be so tired.
Nobody cares.
Who would you pick over Austin Martin and Ryan Jeffers?
I'm not going to say who I'm going to pick at all.
So Austin Martin hit a home run today. Jeffers was great in game 1. He's batting over 300 right now, but they both are right now. I think Martin had another hit. I'm going to... My wife told me last week to pick Jeffers because he has a funny name. I'm going to go with Austin Martin. Again.
Okay, well, that makes my decision super easy then, thank goodness. So I'm going to go ahead and take Jeffers because Dan decided to take Wallner, which he must know something we don't, Hogs, because Wallner
where
has
did
looked
that come from?
absolutely dreadful.
Yes, but a very cute moose. Make all the boy moose go.
Dan sometimes has a strange belief here, Hogs.
I mean, I picked Tristan
thank you so
Gray,
much for
so I
filling
can't
in.
throw stones. So
Yeah, well, that's true. Glass houses and all that. Hogs, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and send us out.
Well, folks, if you like what you hear, please tell a friend. You can follow us on X at Min for the Win and find our Min for the Win Facebook and Instagram pages. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform so that you're notified when new episodes are available. And if you could leave us a rating or a like, we'd greatly appreciate it. If you'd like to support the show further, you can find us on Patreon, link in the description. Thanks for listening, and as always, go Twins.
That'll wrap up another episode of Men for the Win, a podcast hosted by David Kufis and Dan Thompson, with special guest appearances from Andrew Hogs Hoganson. 3 avid fans who appreciate well-played baseball, especially when it's done by the Minnesota Twins. Thanks so much for listening, and as always, go Twins.